information you be giving out, man.
I appreciate it, bro. How you holding up?
Oh, I'm in the best shape of my life, man. I pretty much be quarantining anyway, man. I don't really be too much, but working locked in and spending time with my family anyway, so it's pretty much normal for me.
I see you linked into the beats recently very heavily.
Yeah, for the last 6 months, I've been going in. I started making beats years ago. Like I actually made my first beat on one of my albums,
Mm.
the Bar album. I did the first beat and it made that album. But I was just playing. It's like I was using Neo MPC. Swiss was gone. That nigga was asleep. So I just jumped on his. He made my. It was a sample and all that.
Right.
But since then, I ain't really been going in too heavy. Like once a year, every now and then I make a beat. I wasn't really locked in. But like 6 months ago, I'm like, let me lock really in. Like, let me start going in and getting better with this shit. Cause I know if I put my mind to it, I'm gonna figure it out. So I've been
What
going heavy the last 6 months. I
what
actually
that?
released like 7 records on all of the platforms that I produce. I've
Mm.
been records while I'm figuring it out. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I got a lot better recently. So the last few records that I've been releasing is been sounding a little bit different.
What made you do that? What made you step over into the beats?
Um, I just love music, man. And sometimes I be wanting to get in the zone and be wanting to write and be tired of pulling up instrumentals I probably already wrote to or having to try to go through a bunch of beats to find the one that you trying to vibe out to.
Yeah.
Better when I make beats myself. Like, you know what I mean? Even when I was doing them quarantine freestyles, I could just pull up my own beats and just do a freestyle, put it out. Don't got to worry about nothing. You know what I
Mm.
mean? I want to get in the zone. If my producers don't got the beats for me, then I could always find a beat myself and just lock in. So it make it better. And it make me more of a force as far as music is concerned. I'm more of an impact now. I could do more and bring
Mm.
more to people when I'm in the stew. Aside of all of the other shit that I've been could do, now I could even do a little bit more.
Right. One of my little homies, Dane Jordan, he from Philly. He uh one of his roles. He did a listening session not too long ago for like his EP. And that day he played through it. And then at the end, he like, yeah, and just so y'all know, I did all these beats. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just like, I'm not good at making beats. Like I can produce things maybe from a distance, but I'm not like good with putting the things together. Like I've tried. It's kind of like, yeah, I'm not good at this. I'm not good at this. So I just
Um,
leave. I always say I leave it to the professionals.
yeah, I mean, yeah, you might be better than you think. It might just take a little time, man. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So dope at all of the other stuff you do when you try to make beats. You like a baby at it, so you probably don't feel comfortable with being that premature with what you do. Yeah, I mean,
Right.
it might be doper than what you think. It might just take a little time for you to get the hang of it. Even my oldest son, he be banging out. The son that I put in, I'm a hustler. My bill's coming too soon. My son gonna be too soon.
Mm-hmm.
16 now, and he be banging out. He got his own production team. He's scoring. He producing a lot of records for a lot of artists, a lot of young up and coming artists. He just did this record called Tomato Soup. He be in there banging out beats every day, constantly. So I'm super proud of him, man.
Mm-hmm.
He the next one. By the time he 18, he gonna be the best in the world, man.
I mean, his pops is hands down one of the best punchline bar spitters ever. Um, and what some people may not know is like maybe like I don't want to say 20 years ago because that might be too long. But you remember we jumped on the phone like a decade ago, maybe. Man, when did that first Rough Ride, or that was it volume 2 with the larceny joint on there? Don't make me
Yeah.
reach. He's like I hate to squeeze. That'll make your face pizza cheese. You need to leave because you don't stand a chance, man. I get greasy like mechanic hands. What?
Ah, Lupe know that shit. That's hard. That shit made one day.
Me and Cash jumped on the phone like, man, maybe 15, 16, around that era when that had dropped.
Yeah, that was 20 years ago.
and you was moving around the industry just cutting people up, just eating people alive.
I
And
say about 18 years ago.
my homie, shout out to my homie Be Nice, he had put us on the phone, and I kicked the verse and you had kicked the verse, and I was like, for me it was just like always inspiration to see people that do what you do at a higher level, but you get to engage and interact with them, and trade bars, and still sharp and still, as they say. And I always looked at you as one of those people where you were scary, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're a scary dude when it comes to the bars, right?
Yeah.
But also like an inspiration and like a motivation to get better, and to always like, you look at what you do and be like, it's not as good as Cass. I got to get as good as Cass. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a dude out on the same age as I am. What he's doing is levels above what I'm doing. I need to get to where he at.
And that's the reason I do it for. Like when I was in elementary school, right? I was in this after school program, this fire prevention program. And I was born into hip hop. Like my mom and my dad used to rap before I was even born. Like when they was having sex to make me, they was writing raps together and all that. So I was born into rap, but I never like really locked in. Like when I got with my friends sometimes to Genesis games, if you go to the option mode on the Genesis games, they would play the instrumental to every board. And on certain video games, certain boards will have some dope beats. So if you go to option mode and pull up certain boards, you can have some dope instrumentals, and we used to write to them. So that's when I first started writing, but it was like a game. I ain't really take it serious to consider myself a rapper. When I'm in this after school program, the teacher going around the class asking people what they want to be when they grow up. Everybody giving these generic answers: doctor, a lawyer, a firefighter. So when they get to me, they like, what you want to be? I'm like, man, I'm going to be a rapper. So the teacher like, you're going to be a rapper, write a rap about this fire prevention program, come to school tomorrow, say the rap, and we'll let you know if you got what it takes to be a rapper.
Mm.
That put the pressure on me, so I had to go home, write my first rap. I wrote the rap about fire prevention, came back and said it to the after school program, and they went crazy. All of the girls and all of the people screaming and asking me, yo, how the hell you did that? Yo, out here. And I'm just amazed how I made the whole class go crazy with just something I thought about, wrote down, and made people respond like that. They ain't take no money. It ain't even matter what clothes I had on, and none of that mattered. Just what I thought about and wrote down. So from that point on in elementary school, I said I'm going to be a rapper, and I wanted to be a rapper too, inspire people to want to get better with the science. Like before I even had bills to pay, before I even knew about wanting to do it for the cars and the jury and the reasons why a lot of people rap, before I even cared about all that, I wanted to be the best.
What year was that?
I was in the fourth grade. I was in
Wow.
grade.
That's great.
I don't know exactly what year that was, but I was in the fourth grade.
That's the craziest. I think I wrote my first rap when I was like maybe like 11, something like that. But I didn't make the decision. I made the decision you made, was like, yo, I want to be a rapper, like in maybe 97, 98. And it was like, yo, I'm not taking SATs, I'm not taking ACTs. Like, I'm finna be a rapper. And I had one teacher who was like, I was like, when you get that support, like kind of how you got with your teacher, where he challenged you and was like, gave you a stage to come back and platform to do it. Like,
Yeah.
I had a teacher named Mr. K, and he's a math teacher, and I had like remedial math all through high school, like just basic algebra. Like, I was like, numbers and me and numbers don't mix.
Yeah.
And he just brought me to the back of the class where his desk was. He had his desk in the back, and everybody sat in front of him. And he just pulled my desk back there. I just sat back there. He gave me like a D just to pass the class, just gave it to me. And me and him just sat there and talked about, everything but math,
Mm.
And it was kind of like, I just, this craft and this thing that I want to do is where I feel like I want to be. And I think I got my first deal, and like I was still kind of in and out of high school. So I remember I didn't graduate. Like, I didn't get I graduated, but I didn't like walk across the stage and nothing like that. And I
Yeah.
remember I went and got my diploma from high school, and like went straight to the airport and went to Miami for
Yeah,
like some promo Memorial Day weekend, whatever the situation was.
that's
Um,
hard.
but it's interesting to see how young, people, especially people of your caliber, like,
Yeah,
um, how young the craft really starts. People may think that, oh, you just pick it up when because it's a hustle or something like that. But it's like,
for
nah, it's the people who actually live it, breathe it, want to be this since they was kids, and
sure.
still, and the proof is in the pudding and the level that in the skill set they are today.
And we got story because I got my first record deal when I was 17. I was still in high school. I was in the 11th grade. Oh, I was like 16 when I first got down, but when I turned 17, I actually signed. You know what I mean? So my mom had to come sign for me. I wasn't even old enough to sign the contract myself. So it was like similar, but I knew like from early that's what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be the best rapper. But as I got older and got into high school and started to grow and started to want more, I seen it was a bag involved too. So I'm like,
Right.
yo, money off being the best too. So that's when I started, you know what I'm saying? Really, because I was on this radio show. It's called The Cypher in Philly. Is where you call up and you battle. And my first manager was William Hart, the lead singer of the Delphonics. So
Mm,
he used to tell me a lot about the business, but he had a son that worked at the radio station and told me about this program. So I called up the first night and I won. I became the champion and I started winning like for long periods of time. I started winning for so much that they had to retire me and they made me a radio personality to start. But that's how I got to go backstage to a lot of concerts. That's when I met Wyclef, Buster, Cannabis, people like that, like being in the backstage from doing this. And that's how I got popular. But a lot of people knew me in the city, like even Beanie, Eve, anybody, Miss Jade, ask anybody from the city that was popping around that time. They'll tell you that they knew about me and was hearing about me. But it was a radio show and this was before social media, so people couldn't put my face with it. So that's
mm.
when I went around the city battling a lot so niggas could know that I am the boy B from the radio station and this is what I look like. You know what I mean? And once I started doing that, I had the city on smash. A lot of people started coming to the city asking for me and asking about me and started offering me situations and telling me, yo, this person want to have it. I mean, and from there, I met TD, Swiss Pop, and that's how I met the Rough Riders and got down with that whole situation. It was over from there.
When did you know? I ask like MCs that are like I would say at our level, not even like people that are just nice. I always ask them like, when did you know that you was nice? Like when did you look and was like, yo, I'm nice. Like I'm really good at this. Like for real, for real.
That first time when I was in that fire prevention program and they went crazy like that, I said, yo, I'm really, really nice. Like I thought I was all right, but I'm like, yo, I'm really, really nice. Like I could, and this is my first rap. So
Right.
if first time I wrote a rap and I'm this nice, imagine if I just stay at it. Like, you know what I mean? And I was young. I was in the 4th grade. So I'm like, most rappers is grown men. If I just stay at it, I'm gonna get super, super nice. So I kind of felt I was nice from the first rap, man.
Who did you run up on? See, I had the piece where I was like I think I'm good, but I always had like the confidence where I was like, I don't know. And I always had like levels of people that I run into almost like a video game. So you think you nice, you put it on easy mode, you whooping dudes, you doing this. Then you put it on like medium or whatever, and you're like, oh no, I'm not really that good. I gotta go back work on my combos or whatever like that. So I
Yeah,
always had those level up moments, while I meet, it'd be another dude in school who you didn't even know was in school with you who would rap. You sitting at the lunch table, he just lace you, bang, he hit you with some joints. You're like, oh, yo, I gotta go back and step my joint up, come back tomorrow with something else. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But I think my first homie, and my whole little crew was quote unquote nice in high school. But like I had a homie, his name's Jay Illa, right? And we were like recording in our basement on like crappy equipment. Our mixer was like from the 50s or something like that. Like we had just vinyl instrumentals, just constantly rapping over the same loop. you know, always every one take. You had to do everything on one take. And went to his, found out he rapped, and went to his crib, and like he was on such a whole other level. Just on the studio he had a mix in the whole thing. It was like, oh yo, you could record on separate tracks and do ad libs and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But his skill set, like his bars, was so nice, right? Like he was so high, and I was like, yo, I like he's way better than me,
Yeah.
right? Now I gotta, you
He
know,
was older than you?
I think JL was probably like maybe a couple years older than me, maybe a year, a couple years. But anyway, my point is like, did you ever have those moments where you went up in something you thought like, yeah, I'm nice, and then there's somebody just sitting in the corner, or you know, somebody who you just was unexpected came out and just was like, yo, I gotta go back to the drawing board. Watch him say nah.
Like I had to go back to the drum board. Well, when I was younger, like the dudes that used to inspire me was like Shiz Lansky and Kyle Akbar, the dudes that was in Larceny Family when I first signed. He was like older than me, and I was like the young boy. So they already had a group. It was called Dead Giveaway, and they had like my other man. He got deported back to Trinidad, but he was in the group, and he used to sing and do like reggae hooks and stuff like that. So I used to always be inspired by them. They was like, if they was advanced, they had like hooks, verses that was the right length, and bridges, and they was like ad-libbing each other on the hook, and it was like they was rehearsing. I used to see them in the room always rehearsing, like they really had shows and shit going on. And I was like a super young boy, so it was like they was professionals to me. They used to really record songs. We was recording on karaoke machines. They was really finding studios and like really doing shit. So I'm like, yo, these niggas is advanced. Like, so I used to sit there, watch them and study them. So it was times when, you know what I mean? But me, I always looked at them niggas as old, like older than me, and already was doing it longer than me. So I never compared myself to them at that time, because I was so young, and I was just comparing myself to the people that was like me. You know what I'm saying? I looked at them dudes as older, so I never looked like in competition, but I did feel like I needed to step it up listening to them. And those are the dudes that forced me to step it up in a short period of time. So, you know, around like you might be 13 and 14 or like 14 years old, you listen to them, you see how structured they shit is. And every day you go back and you start writing. So by the time you turn 15, now you a whole nother animal. Now you good enough to be in the group with them. You know what I'm saying? So when I started Rough Riders when I was 17, they knew all my they raps listening to they shit. And they was always listening to my shit, so we knew each other raps. So they called me out there to have a meeting with Rough Riders. But I'm like, yo, Rough Riders, they don't know if we a group or not. They don't know us. Like, you know what I mean? Y'all know my shit. I know y'all shit. We could go in there like we a group, like we the Locks or something. Go in there, body shit. They might sign us off. Or they might like, you know what I mean, one of us or whatever. But at least we all get an opportunity. And them niggas was like, all right, let's go do it. So we went in there. I went ham. They backed me up. And after we came out of that meeting, that's when we came up with the name Larceny. We wasn't even a group before that.
I had that same like situation when my father had told, like I lived on the south side of the city. I'm from the west side, but I lived on the south side to go to high school. And my father just I was in the room doing something, and my father randomly was like, yo, go out west and pick up your sister. Right? Which meant getting on the bus. So I had to get on the bus, get on the train, get on the bus.
Yeah.
And just so happened I got off the bus, because you could either, you know, make it too complex, but you can either take the train to my mom's house or take the bus. The bus will let you off right in front of my mom's house. The train will drop you off a couple blocks over, right? But basically the same situation. So I was like, I'm gonna take the bus, but I'm gonna get off like a stop before, right? For whatever random reason. get off stop before. So I'm walking up the street to my mom's house. A car pull up, window rolled down. They're like, yo, ain't you such and such brother? I had a little reputation back then, you know, rapping or whatever. And I was like, yo, ain't you such and such little brother? I'm like, yeah, a big brother. I'm like, yeah, yeah. It's like, yo, we finna do this showcase at this you know, at this studio. Do you want to come? Right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I ain't got nothing to do, you know.
Yeah.
And it was random. They just happened to be on the street that I was walking up. They pulled up before I went to my mom's house. Like, it was all like super random. And I went to I was like, all right, cool, whatever. So I go to the showcase. I don't really know nobody there, right? It's, you know, a couple dudes. I'm there looking real nerdy, what have you. And they just was like, yo, let's rap. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
So it's this other, it's like maybe like 3 dudes. Me, maybe 3 other dudes, some producers, and then some record execs. And we get to rapping, and it's like, oh, yo, like, oh, dude's nice. Oh, you nice too? Like, yeah, I'm nice. He's nice. Oh, okay. And it was Big Chuck from Aftermath was there.
Mm.
I didn't know him don't know anybody at that time. Just a young dude from the hood, right?
Yeah.
So it's Chuck, and then it turns out to be who later become my business partner, Chill. So Big Chuck was like, man, you know, I'm like, y'all cool. He like, y'all good, but you know, Jadakiss will eat y'all alive. You know what I'm saying? He like, if Eminem was in here, he'd eat y'all alive. Da 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 da.
Yeah.
And they you know, we in there, they leave, and then everybody's like, the dudes just like, yo, y'all should just be a group, just do a song. So we did a song that night called Wolfpack, right? The first time I ever met these dudes, we do a song that night. Song is like, yeah, this song is just a little chemistry here. It ain't crazy, but it's a little chemistry. So we just started a group, right?
Right.
And that was my first record deal with some dudes who I had just randomly be at the studio with. We finna cypher. They like, individually, y'all not really good enough to do anything of your own, but yo, y'all just do a song and see what happened. And maybe like, that was like 1990, maybe 88, 99, we get a record deal at Epic and do our first piece. It was all just like put together.
What you think made that happen? Like, you decide to take the bus and then decide to get off and stop ahead, like not right in front of your mom dude crib. You decide to get off and stop ahead, and that's where you meet the dudes that take you to get a record deal. Like, what created that energy? Like, that's
I was just in my room doing something random, and my father walked in and was like, yo, go pick up your little sister. And she's like, all right, you know, whatever. But it's interesting how a lot of our stories are kind of similar, you know, and how things come together. It's never a straight line. It's always some, you know, up and down, back and forth, to the front, come back type situation.
it's a struggle, man. It ain't as simple as people think, man. People think you just write a couple verses and you just get a bag and be successful out of nowhere. Like, it ain't that easy, man. It'd be a grind, like you said. People be doing it for years, going through a lot of ups and downs, in and out of groups, in and out of management situations, in and out of contracts, state to state, city to city, traveling, trying to figure it out. Like, you know what I mean?
So last piece, and I'm gonna let you get back to
Oh, niggas like, yo, did you ever go pick up your sister though? Cause your dad gonna be mad as shit. Cause them niggas that go to the studio, you jump in the way, niggas.
I'm gonna tell you how sexy it got from that point forward, right? From that point forward. Here's the freaky part though. So the reason that the dudes in the car knew who I was,
Yeah,
because they knew my little sister, right? And they were some producers who lived up the block, and I think I had battled like, and I was doing the same thing you was doing, running around the city just battling dudes, right? Yeah. And it picked up after that. Like, people look at me as the battle cat. So somebody come to the studio, they think they nice, they're like, yo, go get Fiasco. Like, go get Fiasco. Wait till I get my boy Fiasco. And I was sitting there and just molest dudes. Just like rip them apart. Like, oh, you thought you was nice.
Yeah.
This is what nice actually looks like. And so anyway, the reason them dudes even recognized me was because they knew my little sister, right?
Yeah.
So I think like what wound up happening, like I think me and the I think maybe me and the me some like man, what happened?
She still, bro.
Chill Range Rover, and that was my first time seeing a Range, like not seeing a Range, but like oh wow, these dudes are legit. They got Range Rovers. Oh man, what's going on? I think Chill dropped me off like at my mom's crib, and I spent the night. Either way, my sister didn't get. I didn't pick up my sister. After that was a wrap. It was like yo,
Oh,
I was at the studio. Like it might be a record deal. I met a dude who knows Eminem. Like yo,
look,
it's
say,
on.
man, I'm about to be on, man. We got a deal now. What was the name of the group?
It was called The Pack.
The Pack.
So we was at Epic in like 2000, maybe 99, 2000. So we was there with like, I think Cameron, who else was there? Porter Rock. It was like Epic Street, something like that. So we was there with a few dudes, and we actually was going. We went to like Howard Homecoming, and that was like that's when Eve maybe had like first was like popping, I
Yeah.
think. And it just was street. Whole, I go to street team, all of that, go out there, promote, be in the streets, rapping, throwing out merchandise, stuff like that. So at that vibe. But the way it come like full circle is like when I got my deal, I got my advance. They gave us like, I think our advance was like 40 grand total, but we had to split it 4 ways or whatever. They added like another dude to the group, so it ended up being 4 of us. And they only gave us half. So I had like 5 grand. That was my advance, like first rap money advance.
All right.
I went and gave like 3 grand to my pops so he could pay the taxes on the house. Right. So it came back like full circle. Him sending me, a year, whatever, before out to go get my sister comes back to me like coming in the crib, giving him like literally a shopping bag full of money and was like, yo, pay the taxes on the house.
For sure. I know that felt good.
Yeah, man. That's the vibes. So, like, last thing, bro. Like, what?
I mean, whether you believed in me or not, I believed in myself and I made it happen. You know what I mean?
Literally a bag. Like, actually a bag, a shopping bag. It's like, hey, do that.
That's dope.
But where, like, last thing, I guess, right? I don't want to hold you too much. Like, where do you think rap is headed? You being one of the best rappers in the world, one of the most creative, most consistent, constantly working and developing your craft and building. Where do you see the craft going in the future, or where you want to take it to as we get older? Look at gray hairs on me, feeling like an old man. Where do you see?
Well, the older that we get in this business is like a mental thing. You know what I'm saying? So the older you get, the better you could potentially get if you stay at it. Like it's not like basketball, boxing. The older you get, your body wear down, you can't perform the same. It's like in this mental sport, the more time you put in, the more experience you got, the better you're going to be. The only reason why older dudes don't maintain their energy or stay the same litness like they used to be is because they not as active. They not writing no more. They not tuned into what's going on. They not like when they was young, right there. They like went through problem situations in the business. They older. They got families. They not in it no more. So that's why they not able to do it to the level that they was able to do it on. But if they would have stayed at it and their work ethic would have stayed the same, they would have still been dope, no matter how old you is. So I just want people to step up their work ethic no matter what age you is. Like no matter whether you a kid, you old, no matter what you is. I just want people to continue to go harder and harder and push each other to go harder. You know what I'm saying? Like how you said earlier in the conversation, how force niggas to want to get better. Every time they see you or feel you or hear anything from you, it just forced them to just want to get on a job. And if everybody did that, then just imagine how much better stuff we'd be able to get. But I know the industry is definitely going to grow. Like as far as the amount of money that is bringing in the next 10 years is going to double, if not triple. You know what I'm saying? In the next 10 years, the money that's coming in the industry is going to grow. It's going to be an even bigger business. Like, you know what I'm saying? So people just got to figure out how to get their hands in all that money that's going to be generated and not continue to be cut out of that money like we was up until this point.
All right. One of the coolest things I've ever heard. I was with homeboy Sandman, right? It's from New York.
Yeah.
And we was vibing, talking, and was we on the phone? My memory slips me. But anyway, we was like wrapping it up. Like, yo, all right. He's like, all right, cool. What you finna do? I'm like, I'm finna go over here do some whatever. He's like, all right, I'm finna go home and write some raps.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the first time you see somebody who's like nice, you know, out there, successful, da 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 da, and he's like, what you finna do? I'm gonna go to the club. Yo, I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna go do that. He's like, nah, I'm finna go home and write some raps. You know,
Yeah.
and I feel that idea of the craft and the sport, man.
And they ain't understand it back in the day, like before I was successful off it, when they like, yo, we about to go get with these chicks, man. Come on, man. Or, yo, we about to go to this. Or, we about to go down here. We about to go. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna chill. I got it right, man. And made it back. It was successful. People don't understand it. Like, right for what? Like, what? Right for what? This shit popping. Fuck is you writing for? That shit ain't. What the fuck are you doing? And I just would be locked in, dedicated, and they ain't think it made sense until they see you on TV and you successful. And then it's just like you hit the lottery, like it just came out of nowhere, and it's like, oh my God, how that happened? It's like, but y'all remember all of them years y'all was going out and partying, and I wasn't a part of it a lot of the times because I had to sacrifice to go right and put in work, even though nothing coming in from it yet. I just believed in it. You know what I mean? You remember when we I remember when you came up, it was Power 99, and we ran into each other up there. They had me up there. You came through Power 99. You was for
And
them. I like that.
was Cosmic Kev put me on the spot.
Yeah,
And
I remember that.
it was garbage. Like I was like, oh, this is trash. And I felt like a certain way because I know people don't know Cosmic Kev tapes. Like I mean, some people may not really understand how Philly's role in the game is when it comes to just raps. Like forget the industry, forget music, just rapping, right?
Yeah.
And you have somebody like Cosmic Kev, his tapes used to reach us in the city. You know what I'm saying? Like his freestyle, those freestyle sessions and stuff he would do, or like a Cosmic Kev tape, it would reach us just like a Stretch Armstrong tape would reach us, or a Clue tape back in the day. Like you would get a Stretch Armstrong, a Cosmic Kev tape that will flow through, right? And the people that would be on there would just be murderers. Like you would just hear like, you know, like the same way you hit Fab on a Clue tape back in the day, where people throwing their songs on there, but then they get to Fab, and Fab is just like,
you know you got to rap when you go on Cosmic. He gonna let
right?
you know ahead of time. You already know you got to rap.
And I was always like, yo, I don't want to freestyle. Like, please don't put me in a free. Don't let me. I did that back in the day. I can't do that no more. Don't do that to me, Kev. And I remember I went in there and spit some garbage. And I remember Kev, it was like Kev was looking at me like, and then you came in there, and I was like, oh man, I let Nas down.
I knew you was going. I would have told you, Kev. Yeah, Kev will put you on the spot, man. I need something. Let me just get something light, something like. He gonna force you to spit, man. You gotta have something ready when you go up there, man.
So I appreciate you, brother. I
But it's
appreciate
garbage though. You was off the top with it. That's a part of the culture that I feel that's missing nowadays. You rarely see dudes that can even go off the top with it or even try to. You don't see ciphers outside no more like you used to, and if you do, it's a different type of energy. It ain't like back in the day. I don't really even be seeing dudes on it like that no more. That's like a part of the culture that's missing. So being to the fact that you was able to do that, knowing that there's a lot of people listening, you don't know the exact amount, but you know there's a lot of people listening, and then be able to do that off the top, not even none of the thoughts of all of them bars that you got written. You don't take none of them. You just go off the top. So that was dope to me. I thought it was dope. I didn't think it was garbage. I mean, you know how busy you get. So on your level, you probably know you're harder. Still dope to me to see you do that. You know what I mean?
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. So, man, always an inspiration. You always somebody who, when I think about who's nice, like you've already cemented your role in what we do. You know, the Mount Rushmore of what we do. You always like put on. You never slack. Like you always just the intensity level is always there. The skill level is always high, and you're a constant inspiration to MCs such as myself, and I'm sure the many MCs out there as well. In addition
Thank
to your fans and your career, but just as a rapper to a rapper, man, love you deeply and respect you highly, and always learning from you and feeling intimidated by the monster himself.
Gotta work, man. I know you don't, I mean, I don't know what you're doing right now, but I got an idea for a type of record we could do, man, to teach these people a lot. And the way we could go in on it, it'll be crazy, man. We gotta come together and do something, man.
I'm not trying to get renegaded by you, Cass.
Nah, nah, gonna come together. Dope, man, for real, for real.
Don't set me up like that, Cass.
Nah, we gonna be crazy on it, man, because you be going in, man. And I know the type of record that we could do. I wouldn't even want to do like, you know what I mean, some battle rap spitting type of record. I want to do a different type of record, you know what I mean? Where we somebody gonna learn something off this record and we teach somebody something. And you got too much information for me to be able to lead you on the record if we doing that. So I think that'd be a good idea.
All right, let's tune in. I'm gonna shoot. I'm gonna connect with you on the DM side.
Salute, man. It's been always a pleasure, man. I love you back. Keep doing your thing, man. Easy, boy.
Peace. Ah, man. Shout out to Cass. Shout out to Cassidy. Shout out to the whole Philly, man. Shout out to all of the MCs in Philly. Shout out to Spade, Dutch. Spade was a big influence from Dutch and Spade. Shout out to Major Figures, Ab Lava. All of the Philly spitters. There was a dude down in Philly, shout out to Tone Trump. There was a legendary dude down in Philly. I didn't know if he really existed or not, but they were saying like the nicest dude in Philly was this dude Jack Frost. And it was always like a mythical thing. Like even in New York, it was always this dude who they used to say was oh man, his name just slipped me. Mateo. Where Big Chuck, if y'all don't know who Big Chuck is, make sure y'all tune in to the homie Big Chuck over at Aftermath. Back around that time, late 90s, early 2000s, Chuck had his fingers in all these different pies. And it was always like these rumors of like, yo, Mateo in Brooklyn is nice. I think Jack Frost was the other dude out of Philly. But man, anyway, shout out to Philly. Shout out to my brother Cass. Tune in. Roscoe P. Cold Chain. Is Cold Chain? I thought Cold Chain was from Baltimore. Anyway. But yeah, man. Philly's always nice. Always nice. Always an inspiration. Shout out to Cosmic Kev as well. Gilly, of course. Who else was nice in Philly? Joey Jihad. Joey Jihad, always nice. Yeah, Roscoe P. Coltrane from Baltimore. That's what I thought. Or is it Roscoe from Philly? I thought Roscoe was from Baltimore. Interesting. Yeah, actually, I got a story about Mateo. I actually got to meet Mateo, the legendary Mateo. He was super legendary too. Got to meet him, I think in Brooklyn, and I got to trade a few bars with him. Yeah, of course, Beans. Beans is always nice. Chris, Petey, Freeway, of course. But I feel like it was somebody else. I think the first dudes that I heard out of Philly that were nice, that was like, oh, yo, was Dutch and Spade for sure. My homie Mick Luda he went to Temple, and I think he introduced me to Dutch and Spade. I think he might have brought back a tape, maybe a Kev tape. But Spado still goes in. Spado will go in. So anyway, man, didn't expect to see Cass. So a good thing. I did want to talk. We got kind of sidetracked. Of course, the roots. So yeah, Philly is one of those. We talked about this, but Philly's one of those cities that's a city of rappers, like for real. If nothing else, the bar game in Philly is incredibly high, and you can see it just in who they produce on the MC side of things. That I like nice. Where is yeah, so I want to talk about I'm gonna save that one too, so y'all can check it out. Cass was dropping some gems, and it's funny how you